context of this passage, we find the captain of the army of Aram, which is also known as Syria. Aram and Syria have been hostile to Israel. They hear that there is a prophet of God, Elisha, and that he lives. And in fact, as you see in the passage, Nahum has an Israelite girl as his slave. And apparently at some point he captured her during a raid of Israel. But this captor's health is critical. And the stage is set for him to need to seek help from the very people that he and his people persecute. We hear about this man, and he hears about the prophet of God, Elisha. And he reaches out to his own king and says, give me permission to go to the king of Israel to petition him for help. Even though it's actually God, through the prophet, who will deliver him. We begin our reading at verse 1.
Now Naaman was the commander of the army of the king of Aram. He was a great man in the sight of his master and highly regarded, because through him the Lord had given victory to Aram. He was a valiant soldier, but he had leprosy. Now bands from Aram had gone out and had taken captive a young girl from Israel, and she served Naaman's wife. She said to her mistress, if only my master would see the prophet who is in Samaria, he would cure him of his leprosy. Naaman went to his master and told him what the girl from Israel had said. By all means go, the king of Aram replied. I will send a letter to the king of Israel. So Naaman left, taking with him 10 talents of silver, 6,000 shekels of gold, and 10 sets of clothing. The letter that he took to the king of Israel read, with this letter I am sending my servant Naaman to you, so that you may cure him of his leprosy. As soon as the king of Israel read the letter, he tore his robes and said, am I God? Can I kill and bring back life? What does this fellow send someone to me to be cured of his leprosy? See how he's trying to pick a quarrel with me?
When Elisha, the man of God, heard the king of Israel had torn his robes, he sent him this message. Why have you torn your robes? Have the man come to me, and he will know that there is a prophet in Israel. So Naaman went with his horses and his chariots, and he stopped at the door of Elisha's house. Elisha sent a servant to him to say, go wash yourself 7 times in the Jordan, and your flesh will be restored, and you will be cleansed. But Naaman went away angry and said, I thought he would surely come out and stand and call on the name of his Lord and wave his hands over the spot and cure me. Are not Abana and Ephah, the rivers of Damascus, better than all the waters of Israel? Couldn't I wash in them and be cleansed? So he turned, went off in a rage. Naaman's servants went to him and said, my father, if the prophet had told you to do something great, would you not have done it? How much more then? He tells you to wash and be cleansed. May the Lord add a blessing to the reading, hearing, and the doing of his word.